Press the bell icon on our YouTube app and never miss another video from SpotboyE.
I really don't have to introduce this personality sitting across me, and I just want to say that which journalist wouldn't like the first interview of the year to be Deepika?
Thank you.
Welcome to SpotboyE.
Thank you.
And I must start off from the time I met you last on the stage of your wedding reception. How has life been after that?
It's been incredible. I think that it's been a lot of fun and something that we were both looking forward to. Yeah.
And anything you have changed after that, or any changes in your life?
No, not really. I mean, apart from the fact that I think we just get to see a lot more of each other. I think other than that, it's the same as it's been for the last, in a good way, it's been the same for the last, 7-8 years that we've known each other.
Coming to Chhapaak, Meghna Gulzar ko main mila tha last time, and she told me that, she was not very sure that you'll say yes to this movie. And she was rather surprised.
Yeah.
What drew you to this so soon?
It's two things, Vicky. I think one is the fact that the story in itself was so compelling. It was so inspiring, moving, emotional. It was so many things all rolled into one. I mean, I think just her life in itself is, I think a lot of people should be aware of what her life has been, and more importantly, in the way that she's conducted her life after the incident. But also the fact that somewhere I saw the honesty with Meghna. I trusted and believed that, okay, here is great content, but at the same time I think she's a phenomenal director, and I think the marriage of those two things, that's very important, especially when you're dealing with a subject like this. It's important to have a director who's not doing it for any ulterior motive, but to be honest to the process. There cannot be an iota of any manipulation or not being truthful to the process, and I saw that in her. I felt like there was nothing that was corrupt. It was honest. And the fact that she was going to be responsible while telling this story.
Now, when you emote, the facial expressions are the most important, obviously. When you wear prosthetics, do you have to change your approach?
You have to use your eyes. At least I did. I don't know how other people have done it, but that's, and also these are all superficial ways of talking about it. I think at the end of the day, you've got to feel it. If you feel it, it comes through. If you don't feel it, it doesn't come through. So I think, at a slightly superficial level, yes, you can say it was restrictive, or I used my eyes more. All of that is great, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to feel it and you've got to be honest in that moment. And if you are, then it comes through.
So maximum आपने कहाँ से imbibe किया? Did you imbibe maximum from the script, or was it through your meetings with Lakshmi?
A little bit of everything, because this is not a Lakshmi Agarwal biopic. So there is at the same time, there's no fiction, it's all true. But at the same time, we've also kind of, I think through the film, given a larger perspective on the life of an acid attack survivor. So I think it was a combination of having spent time with Meghna, with Lakshmi, some of it on my own, reading the script, material that was given to me, material that's available online. It was a combination of all of those things.
Emotionally draining?
Yes, most challenging.
How did you recoup from that? I mean, when you had those moments?
I don't think that process of healing has begun yet. I tried doing it as soon as we finished filming. Like I said, I burnt a piece of the prosthetic to feel like maybe emotionally I can begin the journey of letting go. I don't think I've been very successful yet, and I don't think it'll happen for a while. I feel like I'm still living with it because the film is still, with us, and it's going to release soon. So I think maybe post the release, let's see how I feel. I'll address that, once the film is released.
Deepika, have you changed? has your choice of roles changed with time? And especially now in recent times when I say Piku, when I say, especially I think it happened after Cocktail, if you ask me to
Yes.
put my hand on that.
Yeah.
Do you think your
I think so. It has been, I think today whatever I do needs to mean something to me. I feel like I need to be doing something that's meaningful, that's impactful, that can touch and influence people's lives. And yes, you're absolutely right that I think I began that journey a little while ago. But I think that comes through more and more now in my choices.
So would you do a film like, say, if I was to say, I'm not undermining those films like A Houseful or A Desi Boys, we have been entertained in those movies thoroughly, but would you do them at this point of your career?
I think it's unfair for me to say this or that type. I think eventually it'll really boil down to the film, the script, and what I'm listening to, and that's always been my process. So I think really, I think I'll still be open to hearing all kinds of stories. And eventually, I don't want to slot films. That's not how I work as an actor. I think what is important is to be open to hear and to listen to everything, and then feel like, and then make a decision based on how I feel instinctively at that point. But at the same time, yes, I think I'm a lot more clear today about how I want to go about my career, the choices that I want to make. And I think that is a function of me having constantly challenging myself as a person and having evolved as a person and constantly evolving as a person.
So you have become content centric, let's say. Can I say that?
I don't want to put a tag to it. I don't want to put a name to it or put a tag to it or name films. I don't want to get into that.
I'm connecting this to my next question because, do you become a producer to drive home the right messages to back the right films?
I think the best way to say it, I think, is, I'd love to be part of films that challenge me, that excite me, that are meaningful, and that can have some sort of impact on a person's life. I think that's what I'm looking for.
And I read up something you saying that, now you will never be shortchanged in terms of pay disparity, in terms of when you do films like in general. Are you now very sure of, taking care of that part in every film? Or will you make a concession for a subject like which is very resonating?
I mean, if I may be very honest, I'm not someone, I cannot club commercial with creativity. I think the two decisions have to and have always been for me independent of each other. So again, I think it will really depend on when I'm making that decision, what is it that I'm really feeling, what is it that I want to say, and I think my decisions will always be based on that, whether it's a financial, commercial decision or a creative decision.
You worked with Farah Khan, started with now Meghna. Do you think a woman approaches a subject differently? Was that the case with Farah also, or is it now Meghna, just Meghna who's up?
I think it boils down to them as people. I don't want to bring in or entertain the gender conversation here. I think it's them as people and as creative people, what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
If Meghna Gulzar was a man but was equally responsible, equally sensitive, would I do it? Of course I would.
Of course.
So I'm not doing Chhapaak because it's a female director, and can I say that, because she's a woman? I don't know. I can certainly say that Meghna Gulzar as a person has all of the qualities that I felt like, she will be able to do justice to this film.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think everybody's looking forward to it. I met her last and I told her that I've seen Razi 7 times. And she told me this will drive you to the theatres 14 times.
I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Deepika.
you.
Thank you for being on
Thank
SpotboyE. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.